Hey y'all, and welcome to today's video. As you can see, my makeup is only partially done, and that is because I ordered a couple of things from the new One Size Disney collection. I'm so excited about this. I've really been enjoying products from One Size. So when I saw that there was going to be a Disney collection and then it was launching at Sephora, I decided, you know what, let me pick up a couple of things. I didn't buy everything, but I did buy the palette. I did buy the highlighter. So this is like a Fantasia collab. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm excited to play with it. And if you are new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. Shimmer, glitter, testing new collections, we're here for it. So if that sounds good to you, I do hope that you will subscribe before you leave today because I upload lots of new videos every single week. We're going to have probably 7 videos this week. We had 8 videos last week. You want new content, this right here is the place to be. But I can't wait to play with this collection. So let's jump into it. So there were several things that launched in this collection. There were a brush, some eyeliners, some other things, but I was really mainly interested in this palette and this highlighter. So let me first show you the highlighter. So it's Disney Fantasia One Size Bit of Magic Highlighter Illuminator. The shade is a Bit of Magic, and it says, a touch of magic with a luminous stardust. Look closely when glancing in the mirror. You may find a surprise. So I showed you the close-up already of this. The packaging is really nice, but it is really cool, and I just could not capture on camera, but there are photos on the Sephora site. When you look at this like head on, or when I look at it kind of from the side, I see the Mickey Mouse head, a moon, a star, a music note. But then when I look in the mirror, I see Mickey with his, you know, like tall hat on. So it's very cool. This color looks really interesting. This is like a gel powder formula, so I'm really excited. We're gonna put this on the cheeks today. It looks really, really beautiful. I'm hoping this shade won't be too dark for me, but I wanted to try it. I've never tried a highlighter from One Size, so I was very curious about it. And then we have the palette. So the boxes for everything look so nice, but I'll show you the palette. This is One Size and Disney Fantasia Storybook of Mickey Face and Eye palette. It says, find your story of transformation with this limited edition palette filled with magical essentials for face and eyes. So I never swatch palettes, especially from brands I haven't tried before I put them on my eyes, but I do want to go ahead and insert some swatches for y'all so that you can see. We have different formulas in here. So there are full impact matte blushes, hyper sheen blushes, what they have labeled as eyeshadows, and then shooting star transformers. So I'm super duper curious about that. We're gonna play with it all. So I don't have on blush, I don't have on highlight, and I don't have on eyeshadow because we're gonna get all that with the palette. Let me show you. This is like a storybook. Can you tell? It's about as thick as like my finger is. You do have the shades and a cute graphic on the back. The front was kind of hard to show on camera because it is like really, really reflective, but inside, of course, we have the beautiful shades. You already saw that. So these are like transformers we're going to play with. And then we have a nice mirror over here with Mickey, you know, like doing his thing. And if you open the mirror up, let me show you. There's a little ribbon. So you kind of open the mirror like this, and then you have Mickey from Fantasia. It says, reach for the stars. Makeup is a one size fits all. And then you have Patrick's signature and a quote. I'm excited to play with this. Like I said, I've tried some things from One Size, but I have never tried their eyeshadows. I do have their blushes. I do have powder, concealer, things like that. And I'm actually wearing the bronzer trio today. So I've tried some things from the brand, but I've never tried a highlighter, and I've never tried any of the eyeshadows. I know that there was one eyeshadow palette that kind of launched when the brand was, you know, a little bit newer. So I'm excited to try these. I will let you know before we get started, I do have oily skin. I have oily eyelids. You can see very clearly that I have deep set eyes, which means I have creases, and I always use an eye primer. No matter the brand, no matter what, I use an eyeshadow base. So I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm going to zoom y'all in and we will do an eye look first. Very excited about this. I know I keep saying that, but I just think this is fun and I'm excited to try one size like other products. So let me zoom y'all in and we will create. Okay, so I primed my eyes. I will link everything down below in the description box if you're curious. Looking at this palette, okay, we have 4 blushes. This is definitely for me, like when I was looking at this here, I'm trying to make sure I fit it all on camera for y'all. When I was looking at this, if it were not a fun Disney collab, I wouldn't have been as drawn to this palette. I know that, but to me, that's what drew me to it. I think it's so fun, but yes, we have some wasted space. Yes, it's a little bigger, but I feel like it fits with the collab. These are also very neutral eyeshadows. I love neutral shadows. I love colorful shadows. 9 times out of 10, I lean more colorful, and this is neutral. But these 2 shades at the top are like transforming shades. So what I want to do is I want to use the 4 eyeshadows to kind of create something, and then see how I want to add the transformers after that. We just have 4 shades. So let me go ahead and show you. We have Dream, which is the light shade. Classical, which is a golden shade. Both of these are either shimmers or sparkle or metallics, something like that. And we have 2 mattes. We have Broomstick, which is this kind of yellowy leaning matte brown, and then we have D minor, which is a lot deeper. So I'm gonna start off with those. Again, I do have my eye primer on, and what I think we'll do is just something kind of basic. Like I said, I really am more curious about the formula, so I'm gonna go into the shade Broomstick, and I like the imprints on the 4 shadows. So Broomstick has the broomstick carrying the buckets, which I think is really cute. So I'm just picking this shadow up on my brush like this. I'm gonna make sure there's no creases in my eye primer. If you have a problem with your shadows creasing, maybe try switching out your eye primer, trying something new. I would also say make sure when you go in with your shadows that there are no creases already in your primer, that it's all blended out smoothly. And 2, make sure you're not using too much of your primer, because if you have too thick of a layer and you have oily lids like me, you have deep set eyes or eyes that have a lot of creases or folds, you want to make sure that you're not going in with too thick of a layer of your eye primer, because all that excess product is going to do is going to bunch up. So always try to use just enough eye primer, not too much. But this shade so far is pretty. I will say, I mean, if a brand can't make a good neutral brown eyeshadow, that's like a red flag, you know? So I expected this to be good, and it is. It's a pretty tone. It's blending super easily. I've been trying to do better about telling y'all the brushes I'm using. I know sometimes I get so caught up in talking and just talking about the makeup I'm trying that I forget to tell you the brush I'm using. So I want to do better about that for those of y'all who are curious. This is a Sigma E24 brush. And yeah, I think this kind of yellowy brown looks really pretty. I think it almost has like a kind of a golden olive tone to it, which I really kind of like. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not olive, but I can definitely see kind of a little bit of that undertone to this shade. Okay, super basic, but that color went on well. I'm just going to take the same brush that I used earlier. I'm going to go in with D minor, this dark brown, and I'm just going to deepen up this outer corner. Now, if I weren't first time testing this palette to see, how things perform, like going forward using this in the future, I would probably even use the blush shades on my eyes. I don't know if they are marketed as eye safe. Me personally, I don't really care. But I do think they would be pretty on the eyes. Not recommending you to do that. Don't be getting mad at me because, you know, you feel like the FDA is the end all be all, you know, do what you want to do. But for me, I probably will use some of these blushes mixed with some of these shadows in the future. But I'm just going to drag this a little bit under my lower lash line. But I really feel like this palette is probably, you know, going to be good for like quick and easy looks, really more of like a fun piece, you know, for the Disney Fantasia love. I will say with this packaging and things, I like that. Okay, let me show you what I mean. That's easier. Like, to me, this feels very, very luxurious. We've talked before, and like with the Sigma Disney collabs, I feel like they are Disney collabs for people like me. You know, I'm 35. I grew up watching Disney, loving Disney, and I love Disney collab stuff, and this is more like the grown-up version, more of the luxurious version, less of the cartoon stuff, and I feel like they captured that so well with this cover. And then you still get the fun cartoon on the back, you know, but the whole palette isn't printed with the cartoony Mickey Mouse style. So I feel like this is definitely something that when I use it, when I pull it out, I'm gonna have just fun. Like, it's that packaging that's gonna put a smile on my face, and then the products inside hopefully will be great as well. So I'll enjoy using those, but you know, time will tell. I've only used 2 shades from it so far, but so far so good. Like I said, it shouldn't be too hard to make a good brown eyeshadow. Okay, what I'm gonna do next, again, very basic. I'm gonna take that mid-tone gold shade. I'm gonna put it all over the lid, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of that more really light, almost white shimmer, and I'm gonna put that kind of like on the inner part of the lid, wrapped to the inner corner probably. I didn't say, but D minor, this dark brown, had a music note imprinted on it, and I've used both of those shades and the imprint is still very strong there, so that's a good thing. Okay, so I've got that gold shade. This one is called Classical, and it also has a music note imprinted on it. I don't know what the different notes mean, so I can't tell you which note, and my son is not home right now to tell me. He's the musical one, not me. But this is a Sigma E54, and after I picked up the shade on my brush, I did spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray, makeup mist, whatever you want to use is fine. You don't have to. I just like spraying my shimmers or either using a different base or something like that. That's just how I get my makeup to look how I want it to look, but of course you don't have to. I will say this gold looks really pretty. Like, it's impactful, it's pigmented. I think, you know, it looks nice. It looks nice. Very pretty. I mean, I like it. It's hard for me to be like overjoyed with just 4 neutral eyeshadows, but I think it looks really, really pretty. It looks really, really pretty. So now I'm gonna grab my E34 from Sigma. I'm gonna go into Dream. Now Dream has Mickey's hat imprinted on it, which I like, and that's very pretty. That is a very smooth type of shimmer. It's not as sparkly as the gold, but that's very smooth. Ooh, I like that. And is that like maybe a faint goldish pink undertone to it? Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, now these 2 toppers here, let me make sure they're in camera. We have one that's like a really sparkly white, and then we have this one that's like a really sparkly with a little bit of like blue purple shift to it. So we're gonna play with those. Now, if you are like, I just wanna wear neutrals, here you go. Here's your neutral look. Throw on mascara, walk out the door, you're fine. But I wanna see what happens when I put that kind of bluey purple, what did they call that shade? Like a topper or something. They called it something. Shooting Star Transformer. So I'm going to pick that up and we're going to kind of just place it on the lid, see what happens. Okay, so I've picked this up on a E60 brush. And let's see what oh yeah, that's definitely some blue. Okay, I am feeling happy. I'm just kind of like, you can see I kind of picked up some on both sides of the brush, and then I'm just tapping it on, and that's blue. That's blue sparkle. That definitely makes me happy. Blue sparkle, and I can see why they call it like a shooting star. That's a really, honestly, that is a great name for this collection. Instead of just saying like, oh, it's a sparkly eyeshadow topper, calling it a shooting star transformer, because it does kind of look like stardust. And I love that blue tint. So I'm just kind of being messy with this. You can see I'm not blending, I'm not swiping, I'm just lightly kind of tapping it, and it's giving it this sparkle blue. Now listen, I told y'all at the beginning of the video, here at my channel, here in my life, I do not try to be perfect. I just want to have a good time. Okay? You may be looking at this and you're like, Heather, it was looking so good and now it's messy. I love it. I love it. It's so pretty. I love the sparkle. You want precision? Go for it. Do your own look. For me, I'm loving this kind of chaotic blue sparkle I have going on. I am going to do liner, mascara. I'm gonna put on a lash, and then I will come back. We'll see how the eye look came together, but I want to play with these blushes, and I want to use this single highlighter. So I'll be right back. Okay, the eyes are done. I put on some black eyeliner, and I'm putting on, or I put on 3D faux mink lashes in the style Milan from Lily Lashes. That eye topper, like whatever that is, shooting star, I love it. I'm kind of just like moving, so hopefully y'all can kind of see in the light. It is so pretty, and it's like, I think if I put down like a glitter glue, something like that, and packed that topper on top, it would be really intense. It would be really pretty, really sparkly. But something about just like the neutral eye look with that on top, it is so pretty. I just love it. I would have never thought to do a look like this. So I really, really like it. I'm excited. We're going to play with these blushes, but I do want to let y'all know, maybe you're watching this video because you were interested in this collection. I do hope my video will be helpful to you. Of course, this is a first impression. I will follow up, review these products probably in a month, 6 weeks, something like that. I like to really test products before I come back and give you my full review. Or maybe you're on a low buy, no buy. One, I hope this video has been fun to watch, entertaining or something. Maybe you're just here to hang out. But if you're wanting to shop your stash, definitely do. See what you have. See if you can recreate something like this. Just, I always want to let y'all know, like, I'm not here to sell you anything. I love buying makeup, I love testing makeup, and I love sharing it with y'all. So I want to go in with the blush, and I have high hopes for the blush because I like the blush trios that One Size did. There are 2 shimmery blushes, which I like because that's going to be beautiful and glowy, but I'm going to stick with the 2 matte blushes today because we're going to use the highlighter on top, and I don't want to confuse like what's the highlighter versus what's the glowy blush, since this is my first time. Now I had a brush. Okay, so the matte blushes, the darker one is called Orchestra, the lighter one is called Symphony. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my brush and I'm going to get Orchestra, the darker blush on it, on one side of it, and we're gonna put that on. Oh, that is pigmented. Okay. That is a good thing. If you have a deeper skin tone, this is probably gonna show up on you. Next time I use this, I will probably go in with a much lighter hand because I did pick up a bit too much blush. But look, like that's blending in, buffing in really well. It's not like I put on a ton of blush and then it just stayed patchy. No, it's blending super duper well. Okay, now I'm going to take that same brush. I'm going to go over to the other side and pick up Symphony. I'm picking up a much lighter amount, but this is just the lighter matte blush. So I'm just going to top it with that. Very pretty. Okay, I think this looks beautiful. Like, I feel really, really pretty in this, but I want to go in with this highlighter. I'm very excited. I know you already saw the swatch, but I have not swatched it yet, so I'm excited to see how it does on the cheeks. Now, my blush brush was the Sigma F35, and now I'm going to use a F03 for highlighter, and this is really, ooh, that's pretty. I was pretty excited when I saw that it was like a gel to powder type of formula, because usually those are really, really beautiful. But just look at that glow. That's very beautiful. Oh, I like that. All right, y'all, this is our finished look. I feel beautiful. I love this. I really hope you enjoyed watching, but I do want to kind of like share with y'all my first impression thoughts. First of all, like I said, I really like my look. I feel super duper pretty in this. I think the blush, the highlight, the eyes, I just really, really like that. So let me kind of like sum this up. First of all, if you're interested in the Disney Fantasia aspect of this, I mean, they knocked it out of the park. I love this cover. Like, we have so many different like things from the movie. It's very, like I said, like a luxurious Disney with the dark blue and the silver, and the way it looks like a book with the one size and the little Mickey Mouse logo here. I think that's beautiful. Same thing with the compact. You know, you have nice little graphics here, and then when you open this up, you do have the imprint in the pan, and when you look in the mirror, you see a different imprint. So overall, the theming, the vibe, everything, very nice. It feels super high quality. You will have to judge for yourself if these shades, these products are something you will get a lot of use out of. The eyeshadows, the quality was good. The toppers, the shooting stars, whatever they call them, beautiful. I think the blushes look beautiful, nice, pigmented, but easy to blend. So you can definitely like build them up to have them more intense, or you can probably sheer them out even more than I did if you just use a lighter hand. I think the highlighter is super pretty too. It looks great on the skin. So overall, I'm happy with my purchase. I'm excited to continue using this collection. I think it's really, really pretty. I actually may take this palette. I am going to be traveling soon. So I'm thinking I may take this palette with me, like this and my palette with Adept. Could be perfect traveling. So I'm very happy with my purchase. I am definitely intrigued if One Size does more eyeshadow palettes and single highlighters in the future. I can definitely see myself picking that up if it's a color story that I'm interested in, because the quality of these products felt really, really nice. Again, just a first impression. I will follow up, like I said, probably in about a month. I'll let you know when I've tested these products more if I found any issues or anything. But overall, really happy that I bought this collection. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you choose to spend your time here with me. I hope you're having a super awesome, amazing, wonderful day. Don't forget, all the makeup will be linked down in the description box. If you ever choose to click on my links, buy through my links, I really, really appreciate it. And I will see y'all very, very soon in another video. Bye.